Hi, everybody. Welcome to Numerology with Lori. And please like and subscribe if you can. I thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've been doing some reference videos for you guys, and the one that I want you to go to today, if you have any questions about anything that we're talking about, is the karmic numbers reference video. So that's going to give you a little bit more background on some of the information that we'll be discussing today. So one of the things that I really wanted to talk about is the three world leaders that we have that are causing so many issues for all of us. The US president is Donald John Trump. The Israeli prime minister is Benjamin Netanyahu, and the Russian president is Vladimir Putin. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I got to tell you, I've been looking into the birth charts for all of them, and I've noticed a lot of karma. So let's start with Donald J. Trump. So this is the information that I have. Donald John Trump is the birth name, the birth certificate name. I've got I've calculated all of his numbers, his five core numbers. I've provided you with the pinnacles and challenges. You can take a screenshot of this um, uh, whiteboard, if you will. And you can also see where I've calculated the life path that is based upon his birth date, which there are a lot of karmic numbers here. Anything that is a 13, a 14, a 16, or a 19 is karmic. So let's talk about some of the karmic numbers that we're seeing here. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to talk about, I'm going to find this here. Okay, so the name Donald, if you will, is a four, a six, a five, a one, a three, and a five. It adds up to a 16-7 as far as the personality goes. So that would be the D, the N, the L, and the D. John is the J, the H, and the N. That adds up to a 14-5. And Trump is a T, the R, the M, the P adds up to a 22, which is a 4 plus a 5 plus a 7. It all adds up to a karmic number of 16-7. And that's how people see him. That is what the karmic number is all about. So his soul number is based on the vowels in his name. So in Donald, it's the zero, or I'm sorry, the O and the A, so that's a 6 and a 1. John is an O, that's a 6. And the in Trump, it's the U, which is a 3. And they add up to a 14, I'm sorry, they add up to a 16-7. Again, a karmic number. That's for his soul number. So that's the number he sees himself, like that's his heart's desire is to be a 7, but he's karmically aligned to the 16, which is a somewhat malefic number, if you will. It definitely is karmic in that it is us. He did somebody dirty in love, and let's face it, this is kind of true. I mean, as we're looking at what's being released in these files, and I won't go talking a lot about the political edges of everything. I really want to talk about the karma involved here. But that 16-7 is doesn't go away. That's these are numbers that are with him and have been with him from day one. That's that's all I'll say about that. His destiny number is everything added up all together. So Donald John Trump, they all add up to numbers, and the numbers, the Donald adds up to a 5, John adds up to a 2, and Trump adds up to a 7. So 7 plus 5 plus 2 is a 14-5. That's his destiny number. Now, if you recall, the 14-5 is a karmic number. Again, another karmic number. So his personality number was a 16-7, his soul number was a 16-7, and his destiny number, which is an important one of the five core numbers, is a 14-5. And that's about the temptations. So the temptations can involve everything from drugs and or alcohol, and it could involve women. Again, think of these files that are coming out about him. Think about the way he is behaving and the way um he he almost has an alcoholic feel to him. Uh, That's just personal. So let's see. So I calculated his birth date as well. And what I got there was a 13-4. And the 13-4 is calculated as he has been somewhat lazy this year, his whole life. And when I say somewhat, that's not really true. He's been lazy this lifetime. The fact that he declared bone spurs as the reason that he didn't go to war um, in for Vietnam, that's that's kind of that's more than lazy. That's a lie. So he's taken the 13-4 karmic life path all the way. And unfortunately, I don't see how he's going to get past these karmic numbers. Again, in his personality, it's a 16-7. In his destiny, it's a 14-5. In his soul number, it's a 16-7. In the life path number, it's a 13-4. So one of the things that I did was I looked at his pinnacles. So let's take a look at that real quick. I'm going to show you again. So the pinnacles are on the bottom. So there's pinnacles and challenges. And right now, he's in the last pinnacle and challenge, which is an 8 pinnacle and a 4 challenge. So what this tells me is that he is craving power and control. We know that to be true. Um, the 4 as a challenge kind of represents the information that the number, the core number that is his oh, I'm sorry, it's not a core. Oh, no, it's not a core number. I'm sorry, I'm confusing that with myself. So the 4 is about working hard, and he's challenged to do that. He's not working very hard. So this says a lot to me of what he is doing and has been doing since he turned, I don't know, about 60. Let's say that. So I also took a look at some of the months that we have coming forward. April adds up to 29. So I calculated all the numbers that are in April. Just the month April. But what's interesting to me is let's go down to June. June, June, comes up to 1355, which adds to a 14-5. So it's very possible. And the same with July. July adds up to a 1-4, 14-5. So it's very possible that this 2026 year of ending of karma could mean, especially in June and July, an ending of, that's the destiny, that matches the destiny number of DJT. If that's the case, could June and July be his undoing? I don't know. And does that mean an unaliving? I'm not sure. I think it could just mean that that's when things come to a head and the American people say, enough, enough is enough. So that's kind of what I had on Donald John Trump. I think the most important thing is seeing all the karma, and it makes sense of so many things. So that's where I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that at that. So let's talk about Benjamin Netanyahu. So we're going to go to this whiteboard, and it's a little bit more put together because I've got two people on here. But Benjamin, interestingly enough, when I looked this up, his name, and again, if you want to take a screenshot of this, that would be fine. But I did try to fit as much as I could for these two leaders, world global leaders, on this whiteboard as possible. So I'm going to just go through Benjamin Netanyahu's information for what I found. So the interesting thing is Benjamin, if you noticed on that whiteboard, also has an old world spelling of his name, which was on his birth certificate, which is Bin Yamin. So the E is replaced with an I, and the J is replaced with a Y. And they add up very similarly, but they are different. And so the soul number, let's see, I'm going to go to the board and I'm going to check it out. Uh, the Benjamin is a 32-5. Match that with the 8, and the 8 and the 5 add together for a 13, which is a little bit scary. That's his destiny. Again, that's a power number. That's a power move, if you will. So he doesn't have near as many areas that are karmic, but he does have enough. His destiny, the first name, which is Benjamin, is a 13-4. The second name, which is Binyamin, is a 14-5. Both of those are karmic. So it doesn't matter. His destiny, he is destined for a karmic ending, if you will. That's where his destiny leads him. Um, his soul number, the first soul number is a 17-8, which is power, control, money. We know he's a rich man. And that's for Benjamin. For Benjamin, his soul number adds up to a 2911, which the 11s are not karmic. That's a master number, but he could be taking it to the nth degree if he's working it as a master, which it sure looks as if he might be. And he might be doing it very negatively. We don't know for sure, but it looks like it appears as if he's doing it, he's working that 11 in a very negative fashion. We have not heard that much about whether or not he's got any addictions. Usually the 2911 is indicative of that, but that could be for Benjamin. So if his soul number is being worked as Benjamin, which that's how he's referred to here in the States, that would be an 8. And that 8, again, is not karmic, but he could be working it negatively so that the power and control, well, it almost seems as if he is. Let's face it, look at Palestine and Gaza. That goes without saying that that's wrong. His personality number is a 7 for Benjamin and is a 13-4 for Benjamin. Now, it doesn't mean, it just sort of means that he is seen as a person who um, analyzes things. He figures out that background information. I don't know. I'm not sure. Benjamin also, for 10/21/1949 is his birth date, and his life path is a 9. So he's used to getting rid of what doesn't serve him. And let's face it, you mix that with an 8 power and control, you mix that with a 13-4 destiny, and what doesn't serve him are the people that are living in the areas that he thinks belong to him. That's an interesting state. So, yeah. All right. So the last one I want to look at is Vladimir Putin. We could look at so many, but Vladimir has a very, very interesting name. And again, if you know, feel free to take a screenshot of what I just showed you, but it's Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. That is what is on his birth certificate. So his soul number is an 11-2, matches the Benjamin Netanyahu, which we don't know about that. But the 11-2 for Vladimir tells me that he's got a master number that he may be working in an incorrect manner. He may be working that. Mm, the 11 is sometimes indicative of um, addictions. His addictions, we don't know what they are. There's so many different things could be addictions. They could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be women, it could be food, it could be a lot of different things. So that we'll see what happens with that. The interesting thing, though, is his destiny number is a 15-6, which tells me he's a person that likes to get married. That's very interesting, or that has family is important to him. His maturity number, which is interesting, we didn't necessarily calculate the maturity number because it wasn't important, although I have to say that Benjamin Netanyahu has a 13-4 maturity and a 14-5 in his for Benjamin. So that's interesting. The same as his destiny numbers. That's really interesting. The maturity number for Vladimir Putin is a 13-4. So that tells me that it appears as if he is lazy. It appears as he gets older, he gets lazier and lazier. He relies on the oligarchs. He relies on others to do his business for him, his work for him, and that's kind of where he is. And that's interesting because let's face it, uh, um, he has very much been asking Donald J. Trump to do, at least this is, again, this is, we don't know. We don't know this for sure, but it looks as if he's been asking DJT to do some of his dirty work for him. We don't know. I mean, he's all over the place. That's for sure. His personality number, again, is an 11-2. So that's an interesting personality. Again, that's a master number. Is he working that negatively? That's what it seems like. So his birth date, which provides his life path, is a 10-7-1952. All of that adds up to a 16. His life path is a 16-7. That's a very karmic number, very karmic. So that usually again means he's done somebody dirty in love. That's very true. So let's take a look at Vladimir Putin. When we took a look at Johnny Depp the other day, and we looked at the fact that his life path was a 16-7. And I also, what I did with Vladimir Putin, being that his life path is also a 16-7, I took a look at the women in his life. Um, let's see. He has the first person that I found is Ludmila Putina. He's got two daughters with this woman, and they divorced in 2017. The second woman I see in his life is Alina Kabeva, and I'm so sorry if I'm butchering this, but it's Kabeaeva. The third woman that I see in his life is Svetlana Krivon. Oh boy, I'm really going to butcher this. I'm so sorry. Krivonog. It's Krivonogikh. So to all of the Russian viewers out there, I apologize. I know I'm saying that completely wrong. She has a daughter with Vladimir Putin. Her name is Luisa Rozova. Very interesting. She spent $1 million on a home for the two of them, and they believe, again, this is kind of hearsay, I guess, But the hearsay is that she, or the gossip, if you will, is that she paid for this through the Russian oligarchy. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know, the last person I see on this list is Victoria Lopyreva, Lopyreva. So Vladimir has definitely had his share of people in his life that um, are women, the same as with Donald Trump, all of the different girls. I'm not going to say women. These are women that are women now, but they were girls when they were 13, 12, 13. One I've heard of that was 9 years old. Yeah, it's, I just can't say any more about that. Um, so what I really wanted to get at was the karma. And the karma in these situations tells me that that's what we're looking at with these global leaders. There's a lot of karma that's happening for both, for all three people, mostly with Donald J. Trump. That's what the United States has to deal with. But Benjamin Netanyahu is also has a lot of karma as much as Vladimir Putin does. So um, let's work hard to bring this to light. Feel free to share this video with anybody that you think would be interested. And I want to just say thank you very much to everybody who has watched till the end. Thank you.